Let's talk about something that quietly eats up so much time in so many companies: manual order entry. We're going to look at how this incredibly tedious job can go from being a multi-hour headache to something that's done in just a few minutes. But first, I've got a question for you. Seriously, think about it for a second. How much of your team's day is just retyping information from one screen to another? An hour? Maybe two? For a lot of teams, this isn't just a small part of their day, it's most of it. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're calling this first part the daily data bottleneck. And for good reason. It's this massive clog in the system where precious time and, let's be honest, brain power just disappears. This right here is the reality for way too many companies. You know the drill. A customer order comes in as a PDF in an email. And then some poor soul on the team has to manually key in every single line item, every address, every code into the company's main system. And it is not a simple copy-paste job. Oh no, it's this whole checklist of painful little steps. You're trying to read different PDF layouts, you're manually checking product codes, you're validating SKUs and quantities. The list just goes on. And this has to be done for every single order. You know, the source material had this quote that just hit the nail on the head. It said this workload turns a customer-facing team into a data entry unit. And that's a real tragedy here, isn't it? You hire talented people to build relationships with customers, and they end up becoming keyboard robots. So all that manual work doesn't just suck up time, it opens the door for huge mistakes. That brings us to our next section, the hidden cost of errors. Because trust me, we're talking about a lot more than just a few typos here and there. This slide just lays out the conflict perfectly. On the left, that's the dream. That's the team's actual goal. Build relationships, deliver amazing service. But on the right, that's the reality. They're just bogged down in data entry, constantly worried about making mistakes and spending their time fixing those mistakes instead of actually helping people. And when a mistake happens, it's like a domino effect. One little typo in a SKU, boom, wrong product gets sent out. One wrong digit in an address, boom, the shipment is delayed. Each error knocks over the next domino. And the very last one to fall, that's your customer satisfaction.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. We get it, the problem is bad. So let's flip the script and talk about the solution. Let's talk about automating the entire flow.
So how does this whole thing work? Well, it's a pretty straightforward four-step process. First, the software actually learns the process by watching what a person does. Then it just reads. It pulls orders right out of Outlook, makes sense of the PDFs. Third, it enters all that data into your systems and it validates it along the way. And finally, it gives you a quick summary of everything it did. Simple. And the magic behind this is a cool combination of AI and what's called computer vision. Long story short, it lets the software see and read a computer screen just like a person would. It knows this field is the customer's name and that field is the product code. It just does it at lightning speed and with, perfect accuracy. All right, now for the best part, the results. This is where we see the real, tangible impact of making this switch. This is where we go from hours of tedious work down to just a handful of minutes. I mean, just look at this chart. It says it all, right? The bar on the left, that's the old way. 6 hours? A day? That's basically a full-time job for someone. Now look at the bar on the right. With automation, that same workload gets done in under 30 minutes. That's not just an improvement, that's a total game changer. But speed is only half the story. What about accuracy? Well, get this. Error rates drop by about 95%. 95. Remember that whole domino effect we were talking about? This level of accuracy means the first domino never even gets tipped over. So, when you put it all together, what do you get? You get freedom. The team is finally freed from the chains of mind-numbing manual work. They can actually focus their energy and their skills on what really matters, taking care of customers and delivering incredible service. And that really leaves us with one final thought. If you could just hand your team back 5, maybe 6 hours every single day, what could they achieve? What new ideas could they come up with? What amazing things could they get done with all that reclaimed time? It's definitely something to think about.